Morning to you on Happy Wednesday. Let's go ahead, let's look at your jobs for today. So first things first, we are on our homepage. We are going to look at our assignments. It is the week of the 1st through the 5th, and it is Wednesday, February 3rd. And let's look at our jobs for today. So first things first, we have our prefix and suffix jobs. So we've been really focusing on prefixes the past 2 days. So today we're going to be looking at suffixes. And so we know that prefixes are at the beginning of the word. And if we remember from last trimester, suffixes are at the end of the word. And so in this anchor chart, you're going to see that they give you example of 2 suffixes, and those suffixes are meant and dumb. And you're going to go ahead, you can either listen to the audio or you're going to read the anchor chart. And after you finished that, you are going to go ahead, you're going to tell me, what do you think these mean? And so you're going to go ahead and answer based off of the information you got from this chart. Then slide 2. Slide 2 is a little different than Monday and Tuesday's slide 2, so just keep that in mind. Sorry, I got something on my camera. So just keep that in mind. We are going to go ahead. What you are going to do is you are going to take a suffix, you are going to drag it over to a green box, and you're going to make a word using that suffix. Now, we're not just making up words, we're making words that are actually spelled using the suffix. And so if you need to, I'm going to show you a quick trick. You are going to go ahead, you're going to open another tab. Remember, you do that by pressing the plus sign. And you are going to say words that end in THION, and it will give you a whole list of words. You obviously want to make sure that you pick a word that you know, because then you're going to have to use it in a sentence. And so I can go ahead and I can click, solution. Oh, I know what solution means. So I can go ahead, I can exit out of that. I'm going to put the beginning portion of that word. And then I'm going to type my sentence here. I found a solution to our problem. And boom, there you go. I went ahead and I did the job. And so you're going to go through and you're going to do that for all of those suffixes. If you come across a suffix and you're like, oh, I don't remember what that suffix means, Miss Walsh went ahead and she wrote them right over here. So, for example, full, it means full of, ness means state of being, and so on. So keep that in mind while you are doing this job. Then you have your journal. It is Words of Wisdom Wednesday. Our quote is from George Evans, and our quote for today is that every student can learn, just not on the same day or in the same way. And so you're going to go ahead, you are going to write 5 to 6 sentences explaining what do you think George Evans was meaning by this quote and how it applies to you. So again, every student can learn, just not on the same day or in the same way. Then you have sentence frames and starters over here on the right if you need them. If you don't, great, but they are there for you as a support. Alrighty, then we have our Zoom at 9 o'clock. I'm excited to see you guys. We're going to be doing some review of area and perimeter. Get really comfortable with it because we're probably going to be assessing on Friday, so just keep that in mind while we are in our Zoom today. Then we have our all about grasslands. So we just learned about the ocean, and so now we're going to go ahead. We are going to move on to the grasslands. And so the grasslands are really I like learning about the grasslands. They're really cool. So there's 2 types of grasslands, and so really interesting, and there's some pretty big differences between the two, while there's still remaining some similarities. And so we're going to talk about those today. And so you're going to go ahead, you are going to read or listen to these passages. And then after you finish, you are going to go ahead and answer these questions. It is the same as the other biomes we've done before. You are then, after you've answered the questions, going to show me your text evidence by highlighting your proof. I will remind you, taking an entire paragraph and highlighting it all yellow. This tells me right here that you don't understand the job. You do not need to highlight an entire paragraph to prove a point. You maybe highlight 1 to 2 sentences max. There is no reason to highlight an entire paragraph. So just keep that in mind while you are highlighting. We're like, oh, Miss Walsh said we don't need to highlight an entire paragraph, so maybe I need to go back and look at this. Keep that in mind. And then we have a break. After your break, you're going to come back. We're going to work on our spelling job, digraphs and blends. Remember, digraphs are 2 consonants making up 1 sound. So ch, th, sh, k. Trying to think of other ones. But then we have our blends. And our blends are 2 consonants making 2 sounds. And so with our blends, we'll have klul, like in clap, so klul. We'll have next, so next, right? And so you're going to go ahead, you are going to go through, read these words. I also will read them to you if you need that support. And then you're going to write sentences using these words. So go ahead, you're going to do that for all 5 of these. And yeah, so then after you do your spelling job, you are going to go ahead, you are going to do your Stuart Little, read aloud as promised. Stuart is now kind of starting his adventure, right? We're exploring outside of the house. We explored outside of the house last chapter, and so we're going to kind of see what evolves from that. Stuart was on the Wasp, and so we're going to kind of see what happens with the Wasp. Does he win the race? Does he not? What happens? This is what we're going to find out in chapter 7. And so you are going to go ahead, you are going to listen to the story, then you're going to move on. You have 2 slides, and that's just because there's not any more questions than we've had before. All that's happening is that there's just some more space for you guys to type your answers, especially for number 6 where it says describe what happened at the race. This is where you're going to need to put some more details. I'm going to let you know 1 sentence answers are probably not going to be sufficient for this question. I want you to tell me what happened during the race. You're giving me a summary basically, and so just a couple of sentences explaining what happened, but still giving Miss Walsh enough details so she can kind of imagine it in her head. All right. Then, after you've answered those questions and you've done your read aloud, you'll have lunch. Then, waking up. You are going to go ahead and move on to your math job. As I've said earlier, we are going to be reviewing perimeter and area. So we've done perimeter separate, we've done area separate. Now we're going to do them together. And so we're going to, hopefully this will reinforce that skill that area is multiplication, perimeter is addition. I know some friends are still mixing them up, and I get it, but they are going to be completely separate. And so that is what we're going to focus on today. And then after you do that, you are going to go ahead, you have 30 minutes of iReady Math, you're going to click on the logo, and it will take you straight there. And then clean up, and that's it for your day. If you have any questions, please let me know. Come to office hours, 11:30 to 12:30 if you need help. That's what I'm here for. And yeah, that's going to be it. All right, D1, have a great rest of your day.